What's going on, guys? I don't have a plan for the show. It's pretty late, actually. I need to go to bed an hour and a half ago. But spent the weekend with Lexi. That was awesome. Had a lot of fun. Went to a pumpkin patch. Went to a corn maze. Had a lot of fun. But now it's back to a good old work week. So nothing to report as far as what I was working on today. I didn't do really any ounce of work. So it was a nice little breather. So I guess what's coming up tomorrow, I've got that phone call with Niraj, the CEO of Nido, which is so cool. That's so cool. And that's at 3:30. So that's tomorrow. And I think he's just wanting to know what I'm using the products for and how I'm supporting I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. How what I'm using the software for can be improved or something like that from his end. Because obviously he's the one behind it all. So I think he's wanting to understand how I use it so he can make it better for uses like this, which is incredible market research. Just completely, or just talking directly to the person that's using the product. I think that's cool. So yeah, so that's tomorrow. That's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to that. The more I think about that mastermind, so talking about this 2 or 3 episodes ago, the more that I think about that, the more I'm kind of like, why have I not joined it sooner? You know, because like I said in whatever episode with the credit cards, I'm fine as far as finances go. So I could get that support right out the gate and have that kind of community, be surrounded with like-minded people who are killing it and advance my success further. So the more I think about that, the more I'm like, why have I not done it yet? And then I think, okay, well, I know that because I've been in the program before. I was in the program 3 years ago. Obviously, it's changed immensely since then. I would hope so. But I remember when I joined, it was kind of like, okay, start here, make your program, do this, reach out to these people, yada, yada. And I'd like to kind of have all my bases covered before I then start paying, because once I start paying, that's a monthly model, so $500 a month, or I could do $5,000 up front. So I'm actually not sure which one I'd rather do, but if I don't make $10,000 in the first 6 months, I get all my money back. It's a pretty heavy guarantee. So I'm sure there's some asterisks. I think it's asterisk. Now you know. Sure, there's some asterisks with that, but whatever. So I'm kind of juggling that at the moment with building everything out. So like I said a few episodes ago, maybe even last episode, I'm just focusing on doing the things that I have to do to get the program up and going. Just the bare minimum. So like with all the emblems and all that stuff and the logos and making these patches and medals and then making a whole bunch of other shit, that'll come with time. I'm confident of that. But for now, I think what I ought to do is just get shit going, because the price point is going to reflect all this. If I'm charging very little, but my program offers very little, that's fair. But if my program charges a lot, if I charge a lot for my program, then I need to have the adequate amount of resources and service available. So that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm focusing on. And yeah, so I might even end the show right there. I don't really have much to talk about, nothing much to report on. So right now I've actually been, the last 2 or 3 days, I've actually been digging deep on magnesium glycinate, zinc picolinate, and boron glycinate as well. So the reason for this is because I guess the amounts in these and these forms that are extremely bioavailable, meaning they get absorbed much better, more efficiently than any other forms of these ingredients. These 3 forms of these 3 specific ingredients have been shown to raise free testosterone as well as just improve testosterone overall. So that combined with getting better sleep, drinking water, stretch, all this shit, right? Eating healthy, that has all been tied to just greater testosterone scores. Now, I'm not sure what mine is as of right now, but when I got my blood work done however many years ago, I think it's 3 or 4. Let me think. So I think it was 2019. I talked about this for 4 episodes ago, but it was 462. And it's funny because I'm watching videos by Chris Williamson. He said that his was 495, I believe. And when he worked with a company to get his blood work done and get everything situated, he said that what they recommended he did was get some boron glycinate, not any kind of boron, but boron glycinate, and zinc picolinate, and then magnesium glycinate, just because these are the most bioavailable. And again, that just means they're absorbed the most. So for example, magnesium oxide, if it says, for example, it's just easy numbers, if it says 100 milligrams of magnesium, you only get 4% of that. So that means you only get 4 milligrams. That's nothing. So no wonder why there's magnesium deficiencies, just because magnesium oxide is not as well absorbed as other forms. So that's magnesium glycinate. And I was learning more and more. I found out that magnesium glycinate, even though it says magnesium glycinate on there and how much, that's not even the total amount, because there's pure elemental glycinate in the form of magnesium in there. And that's what you should be going for. So I found a supplement. It's by Herbal Code Labs. I don't know. Never heard of them before. This particular product has 87 reviews. Nothing but 5 stars and 4 stars. So give it a shot. If it doesn't work, then I'll get a different one. So magnesium elemental. So from 1.6 grams of non-buffered magnesium glycinate, chelated. It's not non-chelated. Non-chelated. So, meaning, buffered, non-buffered means it's not mixed with anything else, not magnesium oxide or magnesium, I think citrate. I can't remember the other one. There's different forms. It's not mixed with anything. It's pure magnesium glycinate. And then chelated, let's see, where did I see this? So chelated it's pure magnesium, and non-chelated has low bioavailability. That's what it is. Non-buffered is pure magnesium. Buffered is mixed with other forms of magnesium. So magnesium plays an important role with recovery, muscle contractions, sleep, as well as testosterone. The reason why I'm interested in that is because I would like that to be at a healthy range. So it's in the healthy range now, but if I can get that to double, if not triple, why wouldn't I do that? Because testosterone, that's why people hop on TRT. That's why people, like when people hop on steroids, when they hop on some gear for the first time, typically just run low doses of testosterone. And that's a great entryway to getting bigger, stronger, leaner, all that stuff, because testosterone's the money right there. So anyway, we're going to see how that goes. What I should do before I do any of this is get my blood work done to see where it's at, and then supplement with this to see where it goes. So I think I'll do that before I start taking everything, because I'm going to make this order. I've got magnesium glycinate, zinc picolinate, and then boron glycinate. And the total is $50, and I think I get a total of half a year's worth. So $50, so $100 a year for these things. And this is in conjunction with a multivitamin, fish oil, and some joint supplements, protein powder. And I actually, for the first time ever in my entire life, it's going to sound crazy, I bought a tub of creatine monohydrate. Now, I've only ever bought in tubs. Holy shit, dude. I've only ever bought creatine hydrochloride, because what I've read and what I've repeatedly learned, I guess, is that creatine hydrochloride is much more bioavailable and much easier absorbed, and it enters. You need less of it. So, for example, creatine monohydrate, you need 5 grams. You also need a loading phase. With creatine hydrochloride, you don't need a loading phase. You only need 2 grams to get the same effects as the 5 grams of monohydrate. And I've always been on the side of hydrochloride, for that reason. I was like, oh, you need less and it uptakes better. Cool. But the thing that I was missing was creatine monohydrate is the number one most studied. I think the second, I think caffeine is number one. I could be wrong on that. I think creatine's one. Caffeine's two. Don't know. It's one of the most studied supplements ever. And it's irrefutable evidence that it's excellent to take. There's so many different benefits, not even in the gym, but like cognitive, memory, all this stuff. So I actually bought a tub of monohydrate, so that's cool. So I'm going to give that a shot. We're going to see what happens with that. I mean, I know what it does. I've been on it my entire life, so creatine, that is. So whatever. And the reason for that is because there's some pre-workouts out there that I really like. They just don't have creatine in them. And I've always got a pre-workout that has everything that I want in it. So we have creatine, L-citrulline or citrulline malate, tomato, betaine, beta-alanine, caffeine. But I want one that is stim-free because I'd like to have one of those when I go to the gym and focus on my sleep. So caffeine within, I think, 10 hours of going to sleep can disrupt the architecture of your sleep. So I'm trying to take that a little bit more serious because shit, dude, if I can sleep well, get my testosterone up, feel better, have more energy, vitalize myself, make myself feel much more incredible, have more, just everything, then why wouldn't I do that? You just can't have caffeine pretty much all day. Wake up, no caffeine for the first 90 minutes because it screws up, it messes with your adenosine receptors, something like that. I could be wrong on that as well. Dude, I learn a shit ton of stuff and I take the point home and I run with it. But when someone's like, oh, so why do you do that? I'm like, dude, I can't remember. I can't tell you shit. I totally forgot everything. I just know that this is the take home point. It's like you read a book, you take home the summary of the book and it's like, oh, how do you know? Like, what do you, so-and-so did that to whatever. Why do you think they did that? It's like, dude, I don't fucking know. Summary said that they did that. So, yep. And I feel like that just takes away so much credit from someone who's talking. Because if I walk up to somebody and I say, oh, you're taking creatine monohydrate? And they say, yeah. And I say, oh, how come? If somebody asked me that, I'd be like, oh, dude, well, at one point in my life, I read it that it was good. But that makes you sound so discreditable, non-creditable, whatever. Can't even speak right, so I sound the same way. Awesome. Whatever. I actually fumble my way around this type of stuff because it's so scientific and precise and this and that. And I'm like, dude, I'm not that. So I don't want to make a fool of myself by saying this or that. This glycinate, picolinate. I don't even know if that's how you pronounce a goddamn word. It's picolinate. Picolinate. It's got to be. But anyway, yeah, guys, I'm talking too much about all this shit. So I'm going to go to sleep now. But that's the show. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Just talking about supplements. So just trying to get my health in check. Worrying a lot more about the minerals and the forms of these minerals. And sleep and water, hydration, all this stuff. Because health's all you got, man. I mean, I could die tomorrow getting hit by a bus and it'd all be for nothing, but we're all going to die anyway. So fuck it, man. Take care of yourself. Or don't. Up to you. So appreciate it, guys. See you tomorrow. Peace.